welcome to Abby's Book Reviews. This is the April wrap-up. How on earth are we a third of the way through the year? This is insane. But I am ahead of my schedule on Goodreads for my yearly goal, so I am quite happy with that. So this month I read 8 books. I keep saying it's like less, but it is 8 books. One of them was a novella, so I'll talk about that in a second. First one I read was Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Edeme. This book, I think, lives up to the hype. I did really enjoy it. Yeah, I love the premise that it has of suppression of, it's meant to be a suppression of Black people from the state, or a minority being suppressed. And in this case, it's the magic wielders, which is such an interesting take on it, and to transfer something that's happening in our day and age and transferring it into fantasy so that people can understand it without really seeing, I suppose, the modern day connotations of it. That's the way you want to phrase it. Yeah, I did really enjoy it, and I really need the rest of the series. I did find it a little bit of a struggle to get into. I think it was the first 60 odd pages. I wasn't that happy with it, and then it did pick up with a few slower paced bits later on, but it was definitely worth the slower bits, if that makes sense. Yeah, highly recommend this, and I keep telling people about it to go read the novella, which was the Tailor. It is book 1.5 in the Grishaverse, and it's a point of view from Genya. It's only like a chapter's worth of story, but it is so interesting to read. I wish I'd read it at the right point when I still didn't know what I thought of Genya, and then I would have seen that and been like, oh my gosh, like such ulterior motives. But I'm actually quite glad I read it afterwards when I love Genya. Yeah, if you haven't read it, I would go check it out. It's called The Tailor. It will explain a bit about the letters. That's all I'm going to say. The Wicked Deep by Shia Earnshaw. So this is a take on Hocus Pocus, which is one of my favourite Halloween witchy movies. Yeah, it was really interesting. The twist I did not see coming. Like, afterwards I was like, oh yeah, I can see where that was. Like, there were little tiny warnings in it, but apart from that, like, I totally did not see that coming. I really enjoyed it. It's a really short read. It's like just over 300 pages. It's pretty easy to read as well. There were, I suppose, quite a few slower bits. I know it's obviously not contemporary because it is a fantasy, but it's set in our world in modern times. So for me, I think that might be why I found it a little bit difficult to get into, purely because it's not pure fantasy. It's a case of it's still set in our world. I say that another one that I then read, I totally got into, even though it's set in our world. I don't know. But yeah, I suppose I had a bit of a hard time getting my head around it. But I did really enjoy it. The Bells by Donielle Clayton. So this has obviously been really hyped before coming out. I love the cover. I love the premise. I was so shocked, like, early on. And I was like, no, this isn't right. Like, how can a whole book and then series be based on this? Like, what is going on? And then everything kind of falls back into place, and I was like, okay, I can deal with this. So yeah, I was ready to put it down at points, and then it just picked up, and I was like, what story am I following? Like, wow, this is so good. So it's her solo debut. Wasn't sure if it was a debut. She's written a couple as a co-author, but it's her first one as a solo author, I think. So I wonder if that's maybe why there was a little bit of disjointedness. But I loved this book in the end, and yeah, I need the next one. need the next one. There's literally no information about the next one. I need information. I need something to keep me going between this book and the long wait that I have, or I can imagine I have. I imagine it's at least next year until the next one comes out. I don't have a title yet. I need information. I need to know what happens. Then I went on to my series for April. You guys may have seen this in a previous video. I think I've spoken about it, but I want to read a series a month. And this month I picked The Witch's Kiss Trilogy by Catherine and Elizabeth Core. Oh my, this trilogy has made my heart so happy, and then it ripped it up and spat it back out, and then it made me happy again and did the same thing again, and it was just this continual cycle of being so happy and I suppose in love, and then going, nope, I'm gonna rip that all up, like literally throw it away, and then slowly pick you back up again. This series is a roller coaster. Oh my gosh. So Witch's Kiss is the first one. It's set in England. Surrey, I think it is. It was really interesting to have a fantasy book set in modern day England. I don't know if it's because of having covens of witches just randomly in the UK. Completely made sense in my head. And having wizards as well, and I don't know if it's because of that this series just clicked a lot quicker for me than The Wicked Deep, but yeah, oh my gosh. So it's about Mary. She's a normal teenager except that she's a witch, and then this like trinket box keeps rattling and she's like, what? So they then look in it and basically there's this stuff, and then she finds out about a family curse, and yeah, and then there's this like medieval if not before, I think before, like 1500-year-old guy, like cute teenage guy, turns up, and yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave you with this one, and I'm gonna try and not spoil the next two. Go read this series. I really do think it's not talked about enough. This trilogy is amazing. This Witch's Tears, this happens, I think it's like a few weeks. This is set about 3 months after Witch's Kiss. It's kind of the fallout from Witch's Kiss, and then grief turning or letting people take advantage. That's how I'm going to phrase this book. Grief lets people take advantage. It really does, but oh my gosh, this book was so good. And I think I cried as well. So the tears is right. The tears is definitely right. That also fits with the grief. And then the last book in the trilogy is The Witch's Blood. And this is also amazing. So it's set 5 months after Witch's Kiss and about 4 days after Witch's Tears. I cannot say anything without ruining the previous one. Basically, go save people. Literally cannot talk about it. It's so good. Go check out this series. I love it. I said to Catherine the other day that I just keep on thinking about what's happened to them since this book and about what the future is, and this series has dragged me in. And I don't know what it is, but I love it. And then the book I am currently reading as of this moment, and as of this moment I have about another 6 hours left of the day. So I'm really hoping to finish this book today, because I got a lot of stuff happening in May, which I will talk about in a minute. So my last book of the month is Blood of 1,000 Stars by Rhoda Belleza. This cover is gorgeous. The cover before is gorgeous. And just like the first book, this book is hooking me in. I did say to my friend the other day that I was struggling to get into it, but that's, I think, because I left so long between the two books. Like, I read Empress pretty much as soon as it came out, over a year ago. At least a year ago. Yeah, I couldn't really remember what happened, and then reading it, I was slowly remembering what happened, and now I can totally remember what happened, and this book is kicking it off in some style. I've read a third of it so far. I absolutely love it. So go check out, I think it's just a duology, so like 98% sure this is a duology. So I am hoping for something epic in the 2/3 I have left. But sci-fi isn't normally my thing, but this series has completely changed me. Like, if these are the only sci-fi books I ever read, I'd be happy. Like, they are so good. And yeah, like lost princesses fighting for like freedom, fighting for their throne, like yeah, like trying to also save the galaxy at the same time. It's just so awesome, and I love some of the side characters as well. I say side characters, one of them's a main character. But yeah, I love this duology. So go check it out if you like sci-fi. If you aren't too sure and you want to give it a go, I would highly recommend these books. So yeah, that is my wrap up for April. So I don't think 8 books is too bad. So I was going to talk about May. So we're doing a middle grade event in TBR and Beyond over on Facebook if you want to go check it out. And it's called Book to School. So we have 6 categories that you can cover. So we have a little report card, and you need to complete math, which is read a book over 200 pages, geography, which is a book with an adventure, art is a book with a beautiful cover, Ghoul Studies is a book with some horror elements in, spells, a book with magic, and Care Magical Creatures, which is a book with magical creatures in. So I have been stockpiling middle grade books. There's been a couple I've wanted to read recently, and I've now put them off since I learned about this event. And I have bought quite a few as well. So next month is middle grade month for me, and I am so excited. So, like, one lot of these books I read when I was little, and I'm so excited to go back and reread it. And other books are more recent books, and seeing everyone's TBRs for them is just so fun. And I think I'm actually going to do a mini video for that as well, so that should be good. But yeah, come check it out. It's, I suppose, a bit like a bingo in a way. That's how I'm interpreting it anyway. And yeah, I am super stoked for May. There's also Akafas is out literally tomorrow. We've got Warstorm coming out, we've got Legendary coming out. There are some epic books coming out, and I cannot wait to get them. Inferno's, in the UK anyway, Inferno's coming out, The Smoke Thieves, Queens of Fembren, which is out, but for some reason Amazon have it later. Ice Wolves, Arushara and the End of Time, Isle of Blood and Stone, Ace of Shades, Queens of Innislea. Like, this month is such a good month coming up for book releases, and I'm gonna be so damn poor from buying books. But yes, because Inferno is coming out, Talon series, the Talon Saga, I think it's called, is going to be my series for May, mixed in with all my middle grade books, and I am so excited. So yeah, anyway, I have waffled way too much, so I apologise for that. Enjoy the book you're reading, and I will see you in the next video.